When I was in high school, I had one very specific goal, and that was to be the valedictorian of my class. And you would think maybe it was to get scholarship money, and although I needed it, the reason that I wanted to be valedictorian was honestly so that I could give a speech on graduation day. So it's no secret. This is my favorite type of speech. So under the special occasion umbrella, we have quite a few examples. So let's jump in. Grab a piece of paper. I have a few points for each one. I'm going to give you an overview first. These 3 things apply to all of our special occasion speeches. Every single one. Prepare notes ahead. Prepare notes ahead. Prepare notes ahead. Number 2, dress appropriately. So whether you're walking down a red carpet or you're headed into a eulogy, what you're wearing should never be louder than what you're saying. So you want people to hear your message. And number 3, always remember your audience. Ask yourself, who will be there and who am I talking to? So let's jump in. Let's go to the first one, the inspirational speech, the commencement address, the motivational speech. This is the speech where we want people to laugh and to think and to cry. You can look up everyone's speech from Steve Jobs to Jerry Seinfeld to Oprah and Obama. But here's what you're going to hear in all of those. Emotion, emotion, emotion. Aristotle would call that pathos, pathos, pathos. Emotionally charged words. You're encouraging, you're inspiring. You're going to tell emotionally charged stories of failure and overcoming. The biggest thing to remember, if you're doing one of these, stay focused. Don't ramble. Don't patchwork quilt a bunch of quotes together. Build to a moment and then give them some life lessons to walk away with. All right, let's say you are president of a club and you invited someone to speak and you have to introduce the speaker. This is actually the speech I've probably done the most, because if I'm doing an event or I'm running an organization or helping out, they'll say, hey, would you introduce the speaker? I love to do this. So this is pretend this is a speaker for event. First, you want to provide background of the speaker. Sometimes it means looking them up on LinkedIn or social media, maybe asking them some questions. Where did you go to college? What are you passionate about? So you want to provide their background, their credibilities. Now, don't put their driving record out there. If for some reason they accidentally went to prison once, you're not going to share that information, but you're going to give positive things. You're going to personalize your connection. When did you meet this person? I recently introduced someone who I had only met one time at a TEDx event, but I knew that she was a faculty member at Rice, and I was so excited for her to come, and I just do remember having a connection the first time that we met. So I said that. I said the first time we met, I was so impressed with her, and I felt like we had the same philosophy. So you're going to preview the speaker's topic. Say something like, they're here to talk about blank. And then here's the trick to introducing a speaker. It's like unveiling an award or a prize or a piece of art. Save their name for the end. Make sure you pronounce it correctly, say it over and over, and then pronounce their name at the end. All right, here's the really fun one. I don't know if you will end up in a red carpet in your lifetime at the Oscars or the Grammys. I had a friend in college that said that was his dream, and sure enough, one day I lived to see him accept his first Grammy. But here's what I want to tell you. There are sort of 3 steps in presenting an award. First, you communicate the meaning of the award. So even if they're Volunteer of the Year at your organization or at the zoo, or maybe they are winning a legitimate scholarship or award, tell us what the award represents. Is it character? Is it integrity? Is it service? Is it comedy? Whatever it is. And then personalize it to the person receiving it. Give us a story or an example that says they've earned this. We're giving it to them because they show character in this area of their life. Tell us a specific story. And then practice the handoff. This one's tricky, but really make sure that you've practiced the handoff. All right, now you're the one receiving the award. So you've presented it. Maybe you're the one receiving it. There's etiquette to this. I've posted a good example for you to watch, but it's really important, and here's how I want you to remember this. First, thank whoever made the award possible, the academy, the organization, your boss, whoever made the award possible, and then you can thank whoever made you possible. And my favorite part is finish with meaning. Add something at the end that externalizes the award, that just says, I want to leave you with something really meaningful. Maybe it's chase your dreams, maybe it's never give up, but you want to finish with meaning. All right. Maybe you've been to a wedding, a quinceañera, an anniversary dinner, and someone said, it's time to give a toast. This one you'll probably do once or twice in your lifetime. So there is a format for you, and I've provided a template because this is probably the one you'll do, but I want you to focus on a couple things. Point out a few characteristics. You want to make sure you say this couple represents fun and loyalty. And then every story and quote you have should fall either under fun or loyalty. Stay positive. It's not the time to air people's dirty laundry. And anchor it in a story. Talk about the first time you met their significant other. Talk about the first time that you knew they would end up together forever. The first time you knew the two of you would become friends. The first time you knew it was going to be special. So anchor it in a really good story, but always still have a couple good characteristics and stay positive, stay positive. All right. I have linked a roast, an example of a roast. This one's tricky because they're usually not very clean. You'll see it follows the same pattern. You want to point out a few unique traits, and usually these come with lots of personal anecdotes, stories that are embarrassing. This is where you don't have to really be respectful, and you can be as sarcastic as you want to be. So let's say you're making fun of someone super rich, right? So you could tell stories about how they had a really rough day because they couldn't find a place to park their yacht. Or, I don't know that you know people that have yachts, but you want to really make sure that you are sarcastic, that you're funny. These are hard to do. We find these in comedy or often with celebrities. All right, the hardest one. This is the eulogy. I'll post an example of one because I have done quite a few of them. As you get older, you lose grandparents, aunts, and uncles. And it's so important that we honor them well. The word eulogy in the Greek means to honor. So whether it's a friend, a relative, a coworker, you may get asked to share a few words. And again, prepare in advance. But maintain respect for the family. Again, it's not the time to share the most embarrassing stories or maybe not even the most flattering stories. It's hard to get through eulogy without really crying. So practice it enough that you can do it without breaking down. It's okay to shed a few tears, but if you're sobbing so loudly they can't hear you, no one will get the message. All right. Those are the special occasion speeches. We blitz through those types. They are messages that hold meaning. So I hope that you'll take time and really think through how to do those effectively, whether you're in wedding season or commencement season, or maybe your family just gathered to honor you at some point and you said, I'd really love to share a few words. I hope that these tips will help you feel a little less anxious and a little more prepared in those moments. I hope that they're not just my favorite type of speech, but I hope they become yours too.